ఎస్ మ్యామ్ ఇచ్చేస్తాను. Okay, good morning, good evening. Priya, good morning.
Good morning, good evening, Majipten. How are you?
Super good. Thanks for joining. We'll give 1 more minute of time or a couple of minutes of time so that other people also joining. The link is being shared in YouTube also. So people are listening in YouTube and as well as in this. Good evening.
Absolutely. No problem. Thank you.
Yeah. Uma, Kavya, we'll give a couple of more minutes. Thank you for everyone who has joined today. We'll be starting the session in another couple of minutes, and all your questions will be answered. Good evening. Good evening. Uh, Kavya, another 1 minute we'll give, and then we'll keep starting this session.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Uma, have you joined the call?
Yes, so I'm here. Good evening.
Yeah. Good evening. Good morning. For US people, it's good morning. For
I
India.
think Priya has joined. Hi, Priya. Good morning to you.
Hi, Uma. Thank you.
So we have two Priyas here. One is Uma Priya and one is Priya Gnanshekar. Very difficult.
You can go by US Priya, India Priya. But it's great, it's such a unique name but it's also a very common name in India,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Um, I'm usually, known as Priya, but then my full name goes like, Priyadarshini.
Okay.
It's very, it's a tongue twister for, Americans here to call me by that. So I usually go by Priya or, otherwise my friends used to call me as Febby. So whatever is convenient for you guys, please do so.
Yeah. 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 Okay, I think Kavya, time to start because people are interested to listen about US careers and what are the different opportunities they have in USA. So I think more importantly, Priya has to take care of the things from here. So Kavya, over to you. You can start the session.
Thank you, sir. I'll be start. Mujib, sir, I'm starting. Good evening, everyone, and a very warm welcome to the international webinar on global careers and next-gen technologies. It's your pathway to success in the US life science industry. I'm Kavyashri, and I'll be your host for this exciting and insightful session, jointly organized by Clinosol Research and Infinite Bio Research, New Jersey, USA. Thank you all for joining us today. So next we have So what you'll be learning in this session, I'll just give a brief on what you'll be learning today. So today's session, you'll be learning about US career roadmap for life science professionals, key regulatory bodies and clinical trial structure, in-demand roles and required skill sets, how to optimize your resume, LinkedIn, and professional profile, education and visa pathways to the US, real life success stories from Indian professionals working abroad, and of course, a chance to get your questions answered by our industry experts. Next, I would like to introduce our guest speaker, Miss Priya Gnanasekar. It is my pleasure to introduce you, ma'am. She is a seasoned healthcare and cybersecurity professional with over a decade of experience. She is the founder and director of clinical operations at Infinite Bio Research, where she oversees quality and regulatory compliance at, and it's a US based clinical trial site. She also serves as the associate director of information security governance at Kyowa Kirin, which is again a US based company, where she has successfully led the approval of over 25 SOPs and policies, designed and implemented a global third risk management process, and helped align IT compliance with business goals. Ms. Priya also holds a master's in clinical research and a bachelor's in biomedical engineering, and has held key roles at organizations like Tiva, Allegran, Biogen, and many more. Today, she'll be speaking on career opportunities and scope in the US life science industry, offering real world insights and actionable strategies for global career growth. Uh, Priya ma'am, I'm handing over this to you, and I'll be stopping my screen share.
Yeah, Priya, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Kavya and Mujibdin, for the warm welcome. And I'm glad to be here. Thank you for hosting this event. I'm happy to be collaborating with Clinosol today. I think we've posted or announced this collaboration about 2 months ago, but it's been a lot of effort, lot of engagement between Infinitive Bio Research as well as with Clinosol to be here and to be talking to you all. So Kavya was kind enough to put my introduction there, but I would just take one step back, talk to you a little bit more elaborately about my experience, and also how I moved to the US and things like that. So I graduated doing my biomedical engineering back at India at PSG Tech Coimbatore. I'm actually a Chennai girl, but I moved to Coimbatore to do my bachelor's. And just right after bachelor's, I knew that I was going to do my master's, because there were so many career opportunities as well as gaps in clinical research back then, but nobody was talking about it. So I thought I'll take that first step, or maybe whatever step it is, to move to the US. So I did my master's in clinical research at Medical University of South Carolina. For those of you know about the US geography, it's little down south, very laid back and very yet urban city. Charleston is one of the most famous for its food, people, as well as the climatic conditions and the most beautiful beaches that you will see in the US as well. So I graduated that degree in 2013, and I think that I was probably the second batch. So we did not have much exposure to clinical trial opportunities, because most of my seniors actually moved into IT, more into SaaS, medical coding, because that's all the exposure we had. So I was lucky enough to get an opportunity to work as a research coordinator in a nice hospital in Atlanta for about 2 or 3 months. But then and there, I knew, there's more to it. So I started working at Philadelphia, Abington Memorial Hospital, as a research trial coordinator. That's where, I got to know, how a clinical trial is very, very important in a patient's life. Because, probably most of you, I hope, you have good health. But for the others, it is pretty difficult for them to wake up in the day, push themselves to make it throughout the end of the day, right? And especially I was working in a lot of neurological trials, so I would be dealing with a lot of geriatric patients about 60. So most of my patients had memory loss, dementia, and also Alzheimer's as well. So it was pretty challenging for me to work with that crowd, but at the same time very convincing to choose my field, or and stand here where I am today. Because my patients would come in, I would have told them to get me the list of their medications, I still remember one of the patient, he was very kind enough, sweet enough, who brought me a lasagna recipe rather than a list of medications. It sounds very funny, but I just look back at how much of struggle she must have had, right? To not remember what I must have told her, and finally she brought me a lasagna recipe. So that's why that's when I got to know the importance of clinical trials, how much the family, the caretaker for such patients are very, very important, because medical insurance and ailments are something which we take very, very seriously here. And then my career slowly moved into the IT because of visa reasons. So I started working in the pharmaceutical industry, starting at Medimune, Allergan, Actavis, Teva Pharmaceuticals, as a quality compliance lead. But I still did not lose my touch in clinical trials at all. I would still go back to understand what's the latest trend looking like, what are the new certifications I can learn, because someday I knew that I would be in a very good state to start my own business and help the clinical research community as well. So finally it happened in 2020. I started my first company, Coral Clinical Research. So we got the first trial after a very long struggle of doing a lot of cold calls, cold emails, and talking to a lot of physicians. Pretty challenging time, but just I got it right at the COVID break. My first clinical trial was in chronic rhinosinusitis, where I collaborated with a prestigious medical institution called Cedar Sinai in the West, in California, in Los Angeles to be very specific. So my doctors were pretty celebrity like. They used to be participating in a lot of art shows, as well as in movies as well. So they did not have time to put their foot down. So but that's when my model was very unique, because what we do is we collaborate with the physicians directly, take up the entire clinical trial operations, meaning we would do the patient recruitment, we would collect the data, we would do the data entry, quality checks, query resolutions, and submit the data back to the pharmaceutical company. Because I will be explaining how that model works in a couple of minutes, but I would just want to tell you that what we do is we are called as a research site in the US, where we are more like a private site, and we work with different multiple clinical trials. We have completed about 10 clinical trials overall in the US. We have about collaboration with about 20 to 25 doctors in different therapeutic areas. So when I talk about therapeutic areas, they mean the conditions, as in such as cardiology, oncology, internal medicine, dermatology, things like that. So we were within the short period of time, right? We were able to do all this. So my second company was started in 2022, where I saw even more opportunities to grow as a CRO, because Coral Clinical Research was only very specific to only conducting clinical trial operations. But I wanted to grow more, have more opportunities, because that's where the US market is all about here. So Infinitive Bio Research was found, and while I was juggling with multiple other job opportunities. So my team is also here today. Chantana Giri, she's our regional manager. She takes care of all the Indian operations, and I also have Prashant, who takes care of the study lead generations. Our office is in Chennai, but we work around the clock to support, and also to coordinate with a lot of pharmaceutical companies and with the CROs as well. So just to give you a little more journey, right, about how what we do, and how we can help you with the your career opportunities as well. So in the US, we are a site network, meaning we collaborate with physicians directly, like I said, but at the same time we also have multiple entities, as in multiple companies, collaborating with us only to do clinical trials, as in recruiting the patients, collecting the data, doing the quality check, and giving back the data back to the pharmaceutical company or the CRO, which is contract research organization that the sponsor or the pharmaceutical company collaborates with. But otherwise, we have also supported with a lot of investigator initiated trials, because all the investigators or doctors that I work with have very good extensive clinical trial knowledge, but it's just that they do not have the right time to put their foot down, write a clinical trial protocol, or do a medical writing, and get to where they are. So we kind of step in to support those activities as well. So since I told you about the different clinical trials we do, we not only do drug clinical trials, but we also are into medical devices and nutraceuticals, as in the US it's called dietary supplements trials as well. We are also exploring into Siddha, Ayurveda, what else? Few more, homeopathy, and whatever possible, right? Because we do not want to limit ourselves, particular only to one condition or to one stream, but we are also expanding ourselves to have exposure to greater opportunities as well. So likewise, we do a lot of networking events, and my team always is in touch with pharmaceutical companies, and that's how we got to know about Clinosol as well. Clinosol has been in the industry for more than decades, but we just had a collaboration just recently, thanks to a couple of folks who introduced to us. We are here today, talking about the different opportunities for you guys. So the other piece that Infinitive Bio Research does is training and placements of students in the US. We have placed a couple of CRAs, CRCs, and also CTAs. What we do is we provide them the GCP training. We give them hands-on experience on how the day-to-day job is done for a CRA and a CRC. We do mock interviews for them. We make sure they're 100% ready to take up a full-time job or a contract opportunity, and we just place them. So when we talk about clinical trials, right, it's just not about a CRA job or CRC or a CTA. There's more to it, right? There are a lot of different titles you can name, such as regulatory affairs. You can talk, you probably knew about the data management side, but every single title is related to clinical trials. A pharmaceutical company cannot release their drug without conducting clinical trials. The first would be animal trials. I hope everybody knows about the phases of clinical trials. I don't want to lecture on that, because I can talk all day about it, but I hope everybody's aware of it. I'm here only to talk about the clinical trial opportunities, but maybe in a different session we can talk about the in-depth of how clinical trials are done, maybe on a different session. But yeah, so as you probably know, everybody, that clinical industry is huge, and also especially in India right now, it's very, very brought to limelight. It, again, brought to limelight is a very, very understatement, but clinical trial has been happening in India for more than 30, 40 years now. It's just that now probably is the time where things are getting exposed, and a lot of hospitals, pharmaceutical industries, ICMR, everybody is really interested to do and talk more about it, and that's probably why we are here as well. So so to take one step back, I hope that gives you enough introduction about myself. I am happy to open up for a Q&A session maybe in the next 5 or 10 minutes, but I just wanted to talk to you about a little bit about the clinical training, research training, and the opportunities that we have in the US. Again, let me give you some disclaimers. I am not an immigration attorney. I am not an university designated representative, or I do not hold anything of that sort. I'm only a business owner. I am an entrepreneur. Expertise in clinical research and trials. So anything I talk to you about, is coming from my experience, and this is what we do here in the US and in India as well. So I hope that clarifies, and I hope you can also ask me the right questions. And I hope my session also helps you, in shaping your career as well today. So just to give you a little more title on what clinical trial job opportunities are available in the US, right? There's more, but then I just want to give you only a few. There are opportunities as CRAs, which are this is more like an auditor job, right? So you are either representative of a pharmaceutical company or a CRO, which is a contract research organization. So you would be going to a site or a hospital or a private practice to make sure that the data that they give the pharmaceutical company is with utmost data integrity, meaning there is no data tapping, there is no data manipulation. Whatever is recorded is what is presented in the electronic data capture as well. So that is the only job of a research associate, and they will also ensure that the regulatory binders, everything is up to compliance. So you're more like an auditor, right? So you have to be true to yourself, at the same time you have to be true to the company that you work for as well. So that does hold a lot of accountability and credibility. So we have placed 2 to 3 CRAs here in the US, and I'm talking to the Clinosol team as well to do the same in India as well. And then the CRC job. CRC is, wears multiple hats. It is a one-man show, type of person job, where, you will be responsible for, one, probably maybe doing the writing the protocol, or, collecting the data, recruiting the patients, taking up all the vital signs, collecting all the data from a patient, making sure, they adhere to the protocol, from the start to the end, and close out the trial as well. So this person holds a lot of grit as well as a lot of responsibility. So I hope everybody gets an opportunity to work as a CRC at least once, in their career as well, because that's when you will know the end to end of a clinical trial in a hospital setup. Third, there is a role called CTA, Clinical Trial Associate, which is more on the pharmaceutical as well as the CRO end, where they will be coordinating and recruiting, identifying the sites, and then auditing all the documentation, supporting with the regulatory, working with the local ethics committee, the regulatory board, and coordinating all these activities as well. So we provide those kind of trainings, and also internships as well. And then there is another important piece called medical writing. Those who have a degree in master's, PhD, biochemistry, or anything to do with life sciences, and who knows about their subject well, and also about a condition well, can get into medical writing, because that is the core of a clinical trial. If there is no project plan, I call it the protocol as a project plan. If there is no project plan, there is no project, there is no clinical trial. So you will be working directly with the drug development company in order to get your protocol writing. Recently we've had a lot of opportunity in medical writing as well, because we work with a lot of physicians in the US, where they are looking for medical writing opportunities, or like people, as well, because like I said, the doctors do not have enough time in their day, so they always look for somebody to help them with, and that's we are that company for them too. So these are different types of titles, roles, that we could help offer, and also train you and place you. But to enter into the US, right, again, I'm going to talk only about my experience, because I was just like you guys. A couple of years ago, I was an Indian student, and then I moved to the US for growth and opportunity. So when I moved to the US, I applied for F1 visa, which is a student visa. I had to do IELTS, I had to write GRCs, and also a couple of TOEFL and other examinations as well. I had to test my English proficiency too. I can talk to you like this for days, right? Because this is my experience working here and talking to a lot of people. But then I did not have the same accent, or I did not have the same amount of proficiency when I moved to the US. I was struggling. I did not get the phrases right. I could not relate to what they were talking about, or the relating to the idioms as well. So it could be pretty challenging, but I always encourage all to watch a lot of movies, talk to your friends, have conversations in English, right? So that you can develop that proficiency as well as the fluency as well. So that's very important for an Indian student to move to the US. I hope, and there is also Chat GPT these days. So please talk to it, and please grow your English proficiency as well. And also just right after my graduation, I made sure I chose a STEM as in science, technology, engineering, mathematics course, because that's what will offer you an opportunity to expand your student visa into working opportunities. There is something called OPT CPT, optional practical training and curriculum practical training. So OPT is, awarded to you just right after your graduation if you are part of the STEM program. CPT is an opportunity for you to, work while you're also, studying as well. So again, these are, different programs that, you can choose from the university that you opt for. But, these are the two opportunities which were available for me. So, I made use of it. So while I was studying, I also did my part-time with a decent pay. As a I worked as a research assistant, where I worked on multiple clinical trials. And just right after my graduation, like I said, I got into the CTA and the CRC job as well. So again, these opportunities are still available in the US, the OPT CPT. But again, like I said, I'm not an immigration attorney. So I hope everybody on this call who are aspiring to come to the US to expand and extend your career opportunities, please choose the right universities, and also the right technology that you want to achieve, and make sure, ask them questions like do you have a CPT program, or or a scholarship, right? Can you offer me OPT? And always do a lot of research and a homework about a company, about a university, because you can look for outside opportunities for OPT and CPT, right, while you're doing your masters. But because the university cannot give you those opportunities. So I would suggest you, when you start moving to the US, do a lot of research, know about which company, which hospitals, which pharmaceutical companies, which CROs you want to work with. Always have a goal, always have a dream, and also work towards it. Clinosol is here, IBR Infinite Bioresearch is here to help you out, and only provide suggestion as well as training on the right field, and to help you with your career growth as well. So I think I spoke about the titles, the US opportunities. So let me talk to you guys about the collaboration that we have here, right? So like I said, we announced this collaboration about 2 months ago. So what we plan to do, as an integrated company, is to provide trainings on the different titles, the CRAs, CRCs, CTAs, medical writing, and regulatory as well, where we will provide you an extensive training. Make sure that you're GCP certified, because that's the first step. Second, we will also train you in a curriculum, and you will be certified on that too. Third, we will provide you resume building is something very, very important, because we your resume is your profile. I hope nobody fakes it, nobody buffs it up. Please put whatever it is, please put whatever is as is, right? Because you just want to be very true, and integrity is very, very important in life. So I would make sure everybody has that and keeps it alive. So always have your resume as your profile. Please try to put as much as information as you can, because, for example, let's say I might not know you as a person, right? But only your resume is going to talk to me in front of me. When I see that, you're an avid, researcher, and, you have a lot of personal interest in, other things, that shows, that this person has a good, work-life balance, right? And also try to do a lot of, put a lot of certifications, and, use LinkedIn. Everybody must have a LinkedIn, because networking these days are very, very important. So always have your LinkedIn profile up to date, and start reaching out to people, right? I've seen a lot of students, do a cold email and a cold message to me saying, hi, I'm looking for this opportunity, that opportunity. We do take them, once in a while to, understand, and also close the gap, where we have, an opportunity. So always use LinkedIn, and, do not float your resume in too many places, because when you work with us, we will make sure that, your resume is up to mark, and also with utmost quality. And, we will make sure that, we at least connect you to the right placement opportunities as well. Again, we might not have, like 10 companies, in line with us, and, place you the next day, right? It is, good things take time. So always, keep practicing. We will make sure that, you're ready, you're interview ready, you're also, placement ready in an opportunity in a company, wherever, either in India or in the US. In the US, let me give you that caveat or a disclaimer. Only when you have a, master's degree, and also when you graduate doing a master's in clinical research, I will be able to help you or place you here in the US. Until then, right, we are only expanding. Like I said, we are a 3-year, 4-year-old company. We are expanding a lot, but when the right opportunity comes for me, I will be able to pick the student or pick the professional, and, have them work here. Because, visa restrictions, and also, visas are, very, very critical and very scrutinized right now. And I'm sure, a lot of people might be, knowing about, what opportunities are there out there, and, how it's being scrutinized to, to choose only the right candidates, right? The only who are eligible ones. So, when the right opportunity comes for us, we will be able to, bring you here into the US as part of IBR, and also as part of Clinosol, collaboratively, to do multiple clinical trial projects. But otherwise, we have, I'm at least seeing a lot of opportunities. We are growing into drug, medical devices, nutraceutical companies, in India especially. So, we will be able to, hook and hook you into one of these opportunities for sure. So I know I've been talking a lot. I'll pause there to see if there are any questions.
Priya, we'll take the questions at the end.
Absolutely, no problem. Yeah.
Because another 20-25 minutes, we'll close the session, and then we'll take all the questions at once, and we'll answer all the questions.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Okay. So I think what I wanted to talk to you next is, the scholarships, right? For Indian students. I just, knew about these, and I want to share also with you. I do have a deck, but unfortunately, I'm not able to present it today. But maybe right after this call, we will share it amongst, all of you, so that you have it handy. And I'm sure you might already know about it. So there is this JN Tata Endowment in Lax Foundation, who's providing, scholarship for Indian students to move to the US. There is also Noratam Shekarsia from by KC Mahindra. There is also University RATN merit scholarships that are available as well. And also, let's say you're a student, right, in a university or in an institution. Talk to your professors to see, if they knew anything about, if they can give you any career opportunities. Again, since I'm from US, I can talk only about US, right? But, if you are interested to work in other countries, please explore those opportunities as well. Because clinical trial, and, this is an industry which is pretty common everywhere in the world. It could just slightly differ based on the country's regulations. For example, in US we have FDA regulations, and in EMEA or in Europe there is something called GDPR. So those are the ones you will be looking at. But otherwise, the talent, the experience, and knowledge that you gain will all be the same. Clinical trial is more of a mindset. So when you do a clinical trial, keep that mindset as that you should work with ethics and with integrity, and and you're serving a community, right? That's the high I take in doing clinical trials. I'm able to provide the right clinical trial opportunities, the right solution for my patients, because as you know, clinical trials could take anywhere between 5 years to 20 years for a product to get come outside. But during clinical trials, the patients will have an advance opportunity to get treated. I know a lot of folks here in the US who treat clinical trials using, Siddha, pranayama, and, all these things too. Because, ailment is an ailment, right? But, again, it's also a mindset, right? When I think that, oh my God, I'm suffering from this, I am suffering. So when I change the mindset, I don't have. So that's also called as placebo effect. So I hope everybody knows about the placebo effect too here. So, so always, look out for people when you know that, and also there is clinicaltrials.gov. I encourage everybody to look into that website to understand, what clinical trials are out there. Every single day, my team knows this very well. We look for about 100 clinical trials per week, so in different therapeutic areas. So every single day this website gets updated. Again, this is the bible of entrance for clinical trials. I'm sure there is also synapse ctri in India, where you could look for local clinical trial opportunities. And one tip before I close my discussion is always reach out to people. Doesn't matter if it's a silly question or a career opportunity or a career driven question. Always reach out for help, and make sure to do a lot of networking in LinkedIn. And if there are any free webinars for students, any registration events in India, or in the LinkedIn, please do attend them, because networking is the key. And Clinosol and IBR here is here to help you out, on shaping your careers as well. So I think with that I will conclude. um, I just see one question. Which website, ma'am? I will text that here in the chat for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Priya. Thank you for very detailed discussion. And we'll wait for another 20-25 minutes. I'll complete my session and then we'll take together one kind of a question and answers so that we can answer all the questions. Kavya, over to you quickly.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so
I'm
Kavya, you're
starting,
sharing?
sir. Yes,
Perfect.
sir, I'm
Go
sharing.
ahead, quickly.
Thank you, Priya ma'am. That was an enriching session and it was practical guidance to all our participants. Now, moving forward, I am honored to introduce our next speaker, Mr. Mujibuddin sir. Uh, he is the founder and CEO of Clinosol Research. With over 15 years of experience in clinical research and pharmacovigilance, he has worked with leading global organizations including Paraxel, IQVIA, Oracle, Accenture, and QPS. Under his guidance, Clinosol has trained over 1,600 plus students and has won 13 prestigious awards. And all these students, most of them are now in top pharma and biotech companies worldwide. He is renowned speaker at global conferences like ISCR, SCDM, and ACRP, known for his insights into AI in clinical research, pharmacovigilance trends, and data science in healthcare. Today, Sir is going to speak on career advancements and regulatory landscapes in the US, helping you understand what it takes to grow and thrive in competitive US life science industry. That's it, sir. I'm handing over to you.
Thank you. So I'll share my screen without any delay so that we can close this session very quickly. Yeah. So I hope my screen is visible. So I have only few slides. Don't worry, I'm not going to take much slides today. So because already Priya has covered most of parts of my session. So my topic today will be on navigating the clinical research careers, particularly in US. What are the new innovations and regulations and opportunities, particularly in United States, about the Indian students, what they can look at it. The global clinical research landscape, it's looking like huge. The global market value is $95 billion and expected to reach $157 billion by 2030. And the active trials, 80,000 plus worldwide clinical trials currently are recruiting. And 42% of this whole clinical trials are from US market share. Particularly North America leads to a global clinical research. So that's what Priya already has put so much on it. And most of the diseases which are being captured, the oncology is more. The next comes is CNS diseases. Either it is Parkinson's and schizophrenia and other diseases. And the third one is infectious. The fourth one is cardiovascular. Fifth one is immunology. And last one is other areas, including the device on nutraceuticals. So this shows that more oncology trials are being conducted to improve the survival status, to improve the quality of life, and to improve the lifespan of the patients, particularly during the rarest oncology clinical trials. That's about the different trials. This is already a technology-driven clinical research. Already, we were speaking so much about the technology transformation, in particular to clinical research, from the paper-based to EDC, and now we are looking at AI. The first one which came into picture is AI intelligence, which is algorithms of how patients recruitment can be done, how data analysis and data prediction and modelings can be done, reducing the trial timelines by 30%. We can reduce the timelines, we can reduce the cost, and we can optimize the clinical trials. That clinical trial, we will not be able to fail the clinical trials, and we can design a clinical trial by using adaptive designs and also by using data science models and algorithms. That's the first one. The second one, decentralized clinical trials or hybrid mode of clinical trials. Not every visit the patient has to go. Remote monitoring technologies has enabled 45% increase in decentralized clinical trial since 2019, and COVID has given a lot of opportunities for us to conduct the clinical trial remotely. Already, I think we have spoken about this. Priya was putting so much of points on that COVID has increased the amount of evidence-based molecule and conduct of clinical trial, and the need of decentralized clinical trial, R of clinical trials to be on decentralized and more of hybrid. Some of the visits which can be going to the hospital and some of the visits can be conducted at the site. The third most important one, the precision medicines, which is the genomic profiling and biomarker based clinical trials, because the biomarkers is more interesting story which is coming up, where the precision medicines can be done and revolutionizing the patient stratifications, with 65% of new oncology trials incorporating the biomarker analysis, and the efficacy and safety is depending on the biomarkers. Now, the story has twisted so much interesting that there is no thing called as it's just a safety and efficacy data points, but it is all about biomarkers. It's all about quality of life. It's all about the pros, and it's all about the survival status of the patients, about the cancer treatments and precision medicines. One treatment does not suit for all. One drug does not suit for all. That's what is the statement which we are trying to do. The evolving regulatory framework, the key updates, the regulatory updates from FDA. First one is real world evidence program has been expandingly acceptance for diverse data source. And now FDA is accepting all kind of sources of data, including the real-time data or pharmacovigilance data or phase 4 data, which is already available for the patient used. Accelerated approvals, pathways for breakthrough therapies. There is something which is accelerated approvals, and there are some of the phases of trials which you can miss, or which you can take it later on for the accelerated approval pathways. The next one, harmonization efforts for ICH E6R3. Now already GCP is now harmonized with ICH E6R3, and we are giving a lot of trainings to companies also for ICH E6R3. Enhanced requirement for trial diversity and inclusions. Now more of companies are asking for more diverse patient population and how we can conduct more inclusions of different kind of patients, and enlarge diversity and inclusivity for conduct of clinical trials. The last one, the digital health technology is receiving the clearer regulatory framework. Like, for example, you are coming up with the wearables or watch or sensors or software as a medical device, then you have to have digital health technologies. And these evolving regulations require professional and specialized knowledge who can navigate complex compliance or knowledge on
very much important on regulatory framework, including FDA. The key roles already, I think Priya has put a lot of pressure on these roles. One of the most important role is CRA. And one more important role she started explaining is about the CRCs. The CRAs are the monitoring the trial conduct and ensuring the protocol is compliant and maintaining the data integrity and research hospital. So it's a compliance with regulations. It's making sure that right safety and well-being of trial subjects is met, and also the data integrity is being not compromised and data manipulation is not being done. So already I think Priya is putting a lot of pressure on this world, saying that the data integrity and the most importantly, whatever you make a note, the documentation which is being completed has to be taken part into it. Coming back to pharmacovigilance specialist who monitors, assess, and reports the adverse event to ensure the patient safety throughout the clinical development and also post-marketing. It's called as detection, assessment, understanding, and prevention of adverse events. Something which is more interesting, I think Priya has put a lot of pressure on this word called as clinical data managers who works at IT companies, designing data collection system, ensuring the data quality and preparing the data sets for analysis. Either it is collection of data, validation of data, and reconciliation and archiving of clinical trial data, and pushing this data for statistical analysis is a clinical data manager. Most importantly, I think medical writing team who develops protocols, CSRs, regulatory submissions, and also the scientific publications. Two kind of roles in the medical writers. One is regulated documents and one is non-regulated documents. Regulated documents is protocol, CSRs, and regulations, or your IBs and ICFs, and other documents or publications like manuscript and other documents. The regulatory affairs specialist who manages the regulatory submissions, ensuring the compliance with global regulations throughout the product lifecycle, including submission of CTDs. Yeah, the pharmacovigilance revolution. Most importantly, AI has got into the pharmacovigilance, and AI-powered signal detection systems came into picture. Risk management plans have came into picture. Real-world evidence has came into picture. Navigating the complex global reporting requirements is there. Integrating the data from multiple sources, including the social media, to understand the adverse events and pharmacovigilance is more important now. The CDM has got changed so much, evolution of EDC system, integration of diverse data sources, including EHRs, genomic imaging data, and also lab data and SAE data, and different data integrity issues are coming up, and how we can integrate the data from the different sources is more important. Risk-based quality management systems, it's not all the data to be reviewed and quality being done. It's only the risk-based quality management system which has to be implemented. One more quality, the medical writing in the next kind of a future, expanding responsibilities, develop structured content, multiple output and audience for different regulatory environments, implementing of AIs and literature reviews. The navigating complex disclosures and develop interactives, CTDs, ECTDs, and supporting transparency initiatives and data sharing. The regulatory affairs, strategic partners, global strategy development, health technology assessments, and digital health regulations is more important, and more growth is needed. Yeah, the ranges of salary, I have taken it from LinkedIn. The ranges of salary is the CRA is $65,000 and data manager is 70,000 and PV specialist is 75 and medical writer 72, around that. Regulatory is $68,000. Entry-level positions offer competitive starting salaries with significant growth of potential at specialists to develop their expertise in advanced senior level. So this is career progression 0 to 2 years, and intermediate 3 to 5 years, and senior 6 to 10, and directors 10 plus. The essential qualifications, the bachelor degree is must, including the life sciences or pharmacy or nursing or field. Masters in clinical research, regulatory affairs, or public health, increasingly preferred for going particularly. I think Priya already have said that she has done MS in clinical research. Specialized certification like GCP, ACRP, CCDM, CCDA, SOCRA, and DIS certifications are very good to take it up, for particularly in US. And technical skills including EDC system, including Viva or Rave or Inform or the SAS or R programming and regulatory softwares, including the Power BI or Tableaus. The soft skills, critical thinking, communication, and project management skills, and budgeting skills are more important for working in this. So top US educational institution who provides the MSc clinical research or MS. One is the MS in clinical investigation from Harvard, and Boston University MS in clinical research, and Tufts University, it gives MSc in regulatory affairs for drugs, biologic, and medical devices. California, you have San Diego, MSc in clinical research. On one more is Stanford University, MS in ophthalmology and clinical research. USC School of Pharmacy, MS in regulatory sciences, and there are online programs also. George Washington University MS in clinical research administration, and Drexel University MS in clinical research. Northeastern University MS in regulatory compliance online, which is being given. So these are the top universities which are being given the next level education. The critical skills which are required: the GCP, CDC, CDMS, data analysis, regulatories, and safety. Soft skills: cross-functional and problem-solving, attention to detail, adaptability, and remote collaboration capabilities. Why preparation matters before moving to US. So when you want to go to US, and why you need to talk to people like Priya and Clinosol team, is because it requires competitive advantage, visa requirements, and cultural adaptations, and the language barriers, and the way the things are moving very fastly in US. So now coming back to Clinosol, bridging the gap, Clinosol has developed comprehensive training programs specially designed to prepare the international professionals for US in clinical research careers. We are more focused on regulatory curriculum over covering the FDA requirements and hands-on training with industry-oriented skill development. Mock submission exercises based on the FDA case studies, professional networking opportunities, industry veterans, and career counseling and CV resume preparations, optimization for US employees, interview preparation specifically for US clinical research. Yeah, so the most interesting slide I would like to say, the Infinity Bio Research Partnership. So this strategic collaboration creates direct pathways for qualified students to enter into US clinical research industries. We come together to give specialized training, customized curriculum specifically to address specific US industry need in current skill gaps. Internship opportunities, we are collaborating to give more internship opportunities along with Infinity Bio Research. The top performing students gain access to remote internships with US projects or building practical experience. We are here to support for placement, support with the placements and the other activities, particularly in collaborations and mentorship program. We wanted to have Infinity Bio Research to give some mentoring or mentorships for virtual sessions. Infinity Bio Research is very focused on role-based trainings, and we understand that role-based training, particularly for US students, it's more important for CRA and CRC, and particularly clinical trial management systems or CTMS or RTSMs trainings or CDM trainings are more required for these people. So look at it, go for educational assessment, targeted trainings, practical experience, network building, and US market entry. So your journey to US clinical research success begins now. You can explore our programs. You can schedule a career consultants. You can always talk to us. You can call us on 912-115-1622, and our team will be happy to assess you. So thank you so much for patient listening. Success is where the preparation is an opportunity to meet. I'm open for questions, and also Priya is here. We can put a lot of questions. Myself and Priya will be open for questions. And thank you, Priya, for collaborating with us. And with over 2,000 placements in India, we stand for our words that how best we can provide the placements. And on the Saturday night, also, we have 70 plus students attending the sessions from India, listening to you very carefully. What is the future and career? And there are 30, 40 people who are in the US market, how they are able to do this activities. So thank you so much, Priya, for taking opportunity and then providing us this collaborations. I'm open for questions. Priya and myself, we are open for questions. We can take ahead questions.
We have got a few in the chat box already.
Yeah. You can take it ahead, Doma.
Yeah. This is from Ujjwala, one of our old student and alumna. She's a graduate student from Masters in Health Informatics, and she wants to apply for the CRA or pharmacovigilance roles or data management in US. So she is looking for guidance. Ujjwala.
Yeah, I think Priya, you are the right person to take this question.
Thank
Ujjwala,
you.
believe me, I think if I'm not wrong.
Absolutely, yeah. So, Ujjwal, thank you for that amazing question. First of all, good luck, and I think you've chosen the right opportunity as well. So, okay, let me just read your question once again. So you're asking apply for jobs in the, okay, yeah. Yes, you can. Health informatics is a very, very elaborate, course. I hope you also have GCP. And I would say, with our CRA program, you should be able to, get more knowledge and also experience on that. Again, what you're doing is master's, right? It's a course. All we are doing is, certification and probably training, right? So I would say join us on that. And again, if can I know, Ujwala, if you're not on mute, are you doing this master's in the US or in India?
I think she is from US currently, Priya. She has
Oh,
completed
She
her PharmD from India.
migrated,
She
yeah, she
moved to
migrated
USA for
from India to
masters.
US. Yeah.
oh,
Yes,
that's fine. Okay. So then, yes. So I will share my email address with you. You can definitely please connect with me. Since you're in the US, you can also visit our office. We are based out of New Jersey. If you can, I would be able to guide you on and also train you on the CRA and put you, in touch with, other recruitment companies and placement companies as well. So yeah, I can certainly help you with that.
that's great. Thank you so much for that answer, Priya. And a few questions I have received personally from students who are shying off probably to ask you over here. So, one such question is based on your experience, which US states currently offer the most opportunities for clinical trial roles, particularly for fresh graduates or entry-level professionals? And how do these regions differ in terms of CRO sponsor or site-based work?
Very interesting question. Whoever that's has this question, has is really thinking out of the box, right? So great question. So let me break it. There are too many folds to it, so I'll just break it one by one. First of all, where I am right now in New Jersey, this is the biopharma hub. I'm in the Northeast, New Jersey. So here there are a lot of biopharmaceutical companies, because, we are called as tri-state. So this is where, a lot of biopharmaceutical companies, pharmaceutical companies, medical devices companies have their HQ, headquarters, and also, their manufacturing plants as well. So this is what I will call as the hub, and this is where most of the opportunities are. But again, the other states, right, such as North Carolina, Tennessee, I would say even in the West, California, they're all huge for healthcare market. So the CRC, the CRC, CRA topics, the job titles we spoke to you about, works in any healthcare. It's just not pharmaceutical companies, even medical devices companies, have these opportunities, right? So even in the West, there are so many companies that you can look into. Again, I'm not restricting only to pharmaceutical industries, the hospitals, the private practices, institutions, cancer research centers. Every single company of this sort has an opportunity for a clinical trial role. So do not restrict yourself, and also think that only pharma companies are going to offer this opportunity. No, that's not true. Every single firm that's related to healthcare will have this opportunity. So I hope that answers your question.
Yes, Priya. And one more question here in the chat box from Maitri. She's a BDS graduate from India, applied MPH in USA, and got
Mhm.
admissions from a few universities. She's asking for guidance about how to succeed in the clinical research industry. What kind of a programs you can suggest to her?
Sure. So when you say you have applied for MPH, have you gotten into a university or are you still looking for other courses? Let me understand your question, right?
So she is a graduate from India. She has applied for MPH programs in USA. Currently, she is
Okay.
not in US. She has just applied and she has got a few admit cards from few universities. So she is looking for a career over there when she comes and starts her learning journey in MPH as an MPH,
Sure,
Masters in
yeah.
Public Health.
Yeah, that is a very nice course, because, a lot of CRCs that I know have MPH, degree as well. That will give you an edge, in community, in doing community-based clinical trials too. So which means, you could get opportunities working with the federal, as well as, state, kind of jobs as well. So again, take my contact information. We will provide you the email address. So send me your CV, and once you're done with your MPH, we would be more than happy to guide you on the career opportunities. So you're doing the right thing. Good luck.
Thanks for that answer, Priya. And one more question over here is that what are the practical skills or non-academic competences you believe are essential for Indian graduates to be job ready in the clinical research field?
So I'm just going to probably reiterate what I told, in my introduction. Right? So network, and always, first of all, have a LinkedIn profile, do a lot of networking, have the right certifications like GCP, and also have the right trainings like, CRC. Learn about clinical trials in general, no, and then always, keep yourself up to date in what standards, what regulations, the government, is releasing, because that's where you will stay on top of it, right? And, talk to people like us, we have Mujibdin, we have, you have me here, right? To network, to set up some time like a one-on-one or a working session to go over a couple of things, because these are not items where we can decide just on a one day and just give you a suggestion right away. And we can only shape your career and provide you some right advices and suggestions. Ultimately, it's you who know what's best for you, your financial status, or your goals. Because for me, when I talk to a person, I definitely will know, if they have the right intentions or not, right? You could have a goal, but probably you're not navigating in the right path. So we can, provide you some mentorship on that. And again, I have, my mentor also here. He's Raghuram Dandapani. He's also on this call. So he's, joined with us recently. So we as a team, Clinosol IBR as a team will be able to uh, do this collaborative session with you. So set up some time, at least 20 to 30 minutes with us, right? Talk to us about your career advancements that you would like. Again, know where you want to be in the next 5 years, not like right now, right? Always know what your future goals are. Look into the future and come to us and then talk to us, because we are not here to waste your time as well as our time, right? So know what you want, then come to us.
So I think
Okay.
questions are flowing. Some more questions.
Few questions are
Go
lined
ahead.
up.
I think people have got into mood to ask more questions. We'll take two more questions, two, three more questions, Uma.
Yeah. One more question from Arpita Hazra. She has completed her bachelor's and working as a clinical data management professional in an MNC. And she has completed her master's also in environmental sciences. And she has completed some courses in pharmacovigilance, advanced PG diploma in CRCDM, pharmacovigilance. And she is asking for a chance to get a job in USA as a CDMO, CRC, or CRARPV. I think direct job is, I think, not possible. Priya should be speaking more on that.
I think Priya, she is an alumni of Clinosol student, and she's
Oh,
working
okay.
with one of the company which is in US, and they have an office in Kolkata also. So the CEO is from US, but they have an office in Kolkata, and she is our alumni. She's working in CDM from since 5 months, and she wants to grow in her career.
Oh, absolutely. Good luck, Arpita. That's a lot of experience, and also degrees that you have. So good luck, and that's very nice of you to do that. So since you're already working for an MNC US based, right? I would want you to talk to your team and see if they can, um, extend your opportunity to get to the US, because a lot of the MNCs will do, because coming as a student here, starting from the scratch is a little different. If that's what you want to do, have another degree, great. But if you are looking only at career opportunities to work in the US, there is something called as H1B and also L1 visa, where when in L1 the company will bring you to the US as part of their contract. They'll make you work here for about 5 to 6 years, and if you're excel, great, they'll just extend you. If not, they'll send you back, right? H1B is a temporary visa for employment opportunities here. So see if your MNC can apply that for you. If that if your visa gets picked, then you can come here and work, right, with that company, and also look for other opportunities in the company too. Since I'm not an attorney, I wouldn't be able to talk about how to apply, where to apply, and all that. But the first step I would suggest you to do is talk to your MNC. Since it's a US based company, they will have an opportunity for sure. Try to explore, and if there is anything that I can do, talk to this company. If I know this, then I would put a word and all that. But otherwise, I think you're on the right track. So yeah.
Uma, one more last question. We'll take it up.
Yeah, one last question is on the technology, because you are talking more on the decentralized trials, AI-enabled monitoring, EDC systems, e-consenting, and all that stuff. So in the US CRO space, okay, how do you foresee the technological shift or the opportunities in the next coming 5 years on global operations? So this question is to you, Mujib sir, and I also want Priya to throw some light on this question.
Yeah, I think this is an interesting question, that how technology is going to play a role in terms of the decentralized or use of wearables and devices. More importantly, now even the academic institution have understood that there is a shift. And the chat GPT has changed so many people mindset. The way we were looking, and the way chat GPT bought the responses, and you upload a photo and you ask any question, it gives answers. So the AI, or the generative AIs, which is giving a lot of shift. There are so much of technology, starting from EHRs to your monitoring of the efficacies and monitoring of adverse events, and the smart pills and smart designs and quality of life and quality by designs, and the adaptive clinical trials and basket designs, and the technology which has been implemented to analyze the data and to implement the visualization and prediction of data. So it has gone into rapid shift, and academic institutions have understood, and they are coming back to Clinosol and asking us to give a lot of training on technology. I'm looking at two kind of people will be there: one who does not use technology, one who uses the technology. So one who does not uses the technology will be crushed, and one who uses the technology will be growing and will be using the technology to remove the manual works, and more the data entry kind of a works or manual kind of a work, and more technological work will be implemented. More time will be there for more innovations for human minds, rather than doing the regular works. So that's a technology shift which is coming up.
Priya, what kind of changes you are seeing in US in the CRO landscape with these emerging technologies, especially?
So I think
Absolutely.
you can take it up that question.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think you already shed a lot of light on that, right? Like you rightly said, AI has taken up the world right now. So for the next, couple of years, that is, going to be the showstopper, right? This is the time for everybody to utilize that opportunity and space as well, because any company that I network with is using AI in some or the other way, right? Either in terms of creating their own LLMs, or creating agentic AIs. Since I'm into cybersecurity, I work with a lot of vendors myself in my pharmaceutical setting, and it's very very interesting and intriguing at the same time to see how AI is growing every single day. There is not a day that pass by if you're really thinking of an idea, right? Tomorrow it could get obsolete. because the more you wait on creating an idea and then doing it, it's somebody is already taking it, right? So look where the gaps are, what you see are the gaps, talk to the right people. And also there are a lot of nomadic groups in LinkedIn and other places as well where you can join. Just listen to them, of just hear them, what they talk, right, what they are doing. That will give you an opportunity. So in terms of the trend, it's always going up high, it's skyrocketing right now. There is no stoppage there at all. So there are more AI based tools that I have started using myself, where sometimes AI could hallucinate, but again, we can only try, it's only a trial and error method, right? Technology is huge, everything is becoming with a click of a button, right? There are no more paper that people are using anymore in a hospital setting or in a in a company industry setting. Everyone is moving to electronic, either be it electronic signatures, electronic e-consenting. Since decentralized has become, no paper consenting at all, it's all in the electronic. People, the companies these days are offering us iPads and telephones to record data, and then send the data using the Wi-Fi as well. So I see every single day is a new opportunity and a learning for me. So like I said, clinical trials.gov, right? When you choose some right keywords, you will find what technology based clinical trials are also coming out there. There is AI based clinical trials, there is more clinical trials on medical devices using technology, using LLMs. So keep yourself updated on it. But yeah, my opinion, shooting rocket sky, yeah.
Wow,
Uh,
that's really great. And that's so nice of you, Priya. And as your mentor has joined us over here and has provided a beautiful feedback for this session, I have given an unmute option. Those who really want to unmute, they can unmute and talk. And I request Mr. Raghuraman to unmute and share your experiences for the session and a few lines addressing our audience as well. Can you unmute and interact with our students once?
okay, I think he's outside, if I'm not wrong. Or might be he's unable to unmute. It's okay, Uma. I think,
I unmute, sir. I unmute.
yeah, you are able to unmute.
Yeah, I could. Yeah. Good morning, friends to the US, and good evening, friends in India. It's an amazing session, and the future is going to be clinical trials. So I'm in this pharma industry for 48 years.
Wow.
Okay. I'm in the life sciences and the pharma sector for more than 48 years now. And we have seen the growth of each and every pharma company in India. And I'm proud to say I'm a part of it, of almost all the Indian pharma companies. I had been almost with 700 companies. I have worked in India for the pharma companies. So I feel that the future is definitely going to be the clinical trials, because when we were doing the drug discovery, those days people were wondering how you do the shelf life, right? So, we were ensuring that we have a safety chambers. So that is what we inculcated in each and every pharma company, to go for a safety chambers, which I was personally insisting 40 years ago. And today everyone has a safety chambers, and it is clearly gives you the shelf life of each and every bulk drug. So like that, now clinical trials are going to be the future. The awareness is there with even an illiterate. Now you can't say anybody is an illiterate now, thanks to COVID. Now people talk very well about immunity, and everybody talks about so many things. So what I personally feel, that clinical trials are going to be the pulse, is going to be the backbone of the industry, and every pharma company must come forward, and they should definitely get into the clinical trials. And thanks to all of you here, and thanks to Priya ma'am and my friend Mujib, excellent session. It's a great eye opener for the generation next. This is exactly what we should do. As a mentor, I'm only doing that today. Whatever the little knowledge that I gained in these 48 years, I'm trying to transfer it to the next generation. So I'm so happy that more and more sessions should come like this. It's a good eye opener, and thank you once again for all of you for participating in this, and more people should join in the future for the benefit of one and all. Thank you very much. God bless us all.
Thank you so much for having you here, sir, and enlightening us with the end note. But definitely, we'll be having more kind of sessions with our students. Definitely, we'll be asking you to spare your valuable time once whenever you are free or available for our students, because we have so many students currently writing their final year examinations. Because of that reason, we had a little lesser strength today. But we are expecting more students once they complete their examinations, and we would like to hear from you as well, because of the experience and your noble thought of giving this technology back to this community and to the students going forward. Thank you so much for joining us today. And we have our alumna, Ujwala, who wants to unmute and speak a few words. Ujwala?
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. And hello, everyone. Hi, Priya, ma'am. And hi, Mujib sir. I hope you are all doing good. And so I'm a graduate student from George Mason University in Virginia. So as I have few questions, like as I'm a graduate from health informatics, so can I go into the clinical field back again? Because here in health informatics, my concentration was data analytics. So my question was like, is there any opportunity again diving back to clinical trials or clinical research? Because I have taken the courses like clinical research and pharmacovigilance under Mujib sir, and then got into somewhere into, luckily I was in US again, back to masters, and I have just completed, and recently in May I was graduated. So do I need to do any certifications back to get back into clinical trials, or can I still move with this with my masters?
Can I answer that?
Yeah. Okay, sure.
All right, Ujwala. So first of all, congratulations on graduating, doing a very,
Thank
very
you.
interesting course. Informatics is huge. Your question is pretty interesting because you're talking about going back, right? I think in the first place, you never went back, right? You did not get misplaced at all. You're still there because informatics, data management, everything is used in clinical trials till date. So you're not lost. You can always, get back on track. And my only concern that that everybody has on this call is relating clinical trial only to CRA and CRC jobs, right? It's just not that. Health informatics is huge, right? You can apply that in clinical trials for sure. It's just that you probably will have to choose the right company, right? And but if you're still interested only to do clinical trials, CRC CRA job, right, then we have opportunities here, right? Because I'm a site network here, so I can put you in touch with my private practices. They're always looking for CRC opportunities here in New Jersey and in other states as well. So since you said you're in Virginia, so you're in the
Yeah.
Northeast as well. So
Yeah.
it's not far. So even in Virginia, there are a lot of opportunities for CRCs. So I can definitely guide you on the next steps. I hope you have your OPT or CPT where you can work and explore for a couple of
Yes, ma'am.
months.
Yes, ma'am. I
Okay.
just applied for my OPT, so I'm just waiting for my EAD to come back to
Okay.
me.
Right. So either brush up your resume or create a very interesting resume. Use ChatGPT, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I hope to get in touch with you. I think you wanted to know about the certifications, right? So first of
Yes,
all,
ma'am.
for any CRC or CRA role, you need a GCP certificate, right?
Mm-hmm.
So either the city program, or the NIDA or NIH has their GCP certifications. It's free for use, so please utilize that. And there is something called as IATA. IATA is for CRCs who handles the lab supplies and also biological supplies as well. So every CRC must have that course or certification for them to handle the biological samples, such as either a blood work or a urine sample or a stool sample for a patient, right? So that's these two are very, very important. When if you have both, then you can definitely get into the CRC track. If you have just GCP, you can get into the CRA track as well. So I'm happy to connect with you offline, and we can talk more about it.
Yes, ma'am. I just completed my city program, GCP. And then, okay, I'll try on with the IATA, and then sure, I'll contact you. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Send it.
Thank you,
We'll
sir.
talk.
And nice meeting you again after 2 long years.
you.
Thank you so much.
Ujjwala.
And thank you,
It
Priya
was a
ma'am, also.
surprise for me, I think, Ujjwala.
Yes, sir. Actually, I was connecting with you, but due to some reasons, so I was back with all the.
I got so busy with a lot of students and alumni.
Yeah, it was great connecting with you, sir, again. And thank you, Priya ma'am, even.
Thank you.
That's so nice of you,
Good to
and
see
you
you.
have joined. We are happy to see you one more time over here. Kavya, can we have a vote of thanks?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh.
So this brings us to the end of this beautiful session. And on behalf of Clinosol Research and Infinite Bio Research, I extend our thanks to our speakers, Uma ma'am and Mujib sir. Sorry, Priya ma'am and Mujib sir. The both names are confusing. I'm really sorry. And a big thank you to all the participants and for their interest in the session throughout. And we truly hope this webinar has given you valuable direction and clarity on building a career in US. So before you leave, I request everyone to fill out the feedback form. Your input is incredibly valuable and helps us improve our further sessions. And we have attached the message in the chat. Please give the feedback.
Yeah,
Thank you again, everyone.
and do stay connected with us because we are doing more and more programs in collaboration with our Clinosol Research INC from Canada. We're going to have Canadian Immigration Services with financial support. More programs are in pipeline for all the students, all the research community from our end, and more programs we are planning with Infinitive Bio Research. Thank you, Chantana, for especially coordinating this program and supporting us. So Priya is there in US. She's here coordinating with Shweta, our team member, and making this happen today. Thank you to all the IBR team for making this possible today. And thanks to all the Clinosol team staying, back one more time after your work hours and supporting us. Thank you one and all for joining our session. Have a wonderful rest of the evening and have a happy weekend also.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you,
team. It's a
everyone.
wonderful
Thank you.
opportunity.
Thank you.
I look forward to working with you all.
Thank you. Thank you, Priya. Thank you, Uma. Thank you, Kavya. Thank you, everyone.
Have a nice weekend, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.